In their latest match against Immortals Progressive, Cloud9 again take a swing at the status quo in their flexible draft picks, proving yet again that there is so much more to explore when it comes to crafting team compositions. I'll be breaking down each part of this game's draft as well as the methodology that the team uses to help better contextualize the rationale for these otherwise outwardly picks. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to get subscribed for more content like this. Before we get started on analyzing the draft, let's take a moment to appreciate the appropriately placed music for Cloud9's mass appearance on Sunday. Truly magical. Moving on to the first phase of bans though, Immortals open up with an Aurelia ban, which most definitely targets C9's incredible flexibility on the champion between top and mid, in a world in which almost any other team would not attempt to swing for it. The Aurelia ban also makes it very difficult for many of the popular mage picks to really thrive here. The rest of the bans move on to picks that are relatively straightforward though. With C9 on red side, they opt to ban Ahri, Zeri, and Gwen. Zeri and Gwen have both quickly become impossibly difficult picks to deal with in the draft thanks to their ability to be blinded in the B1 slot without any real repercussions. These champs can succeed in any draft and in any comp without much of an answer, and I would consider these almost mandatory bans for the team. The Ahri ban is one that is coming up more in professional play, since her mini rework has allowed her to excel into one of the strongest blind pick champions, and with her ability to excel and have an impact in both forward and backwards team comps, it's becoming a really strong pick. The rest of Immortals' ban composition is made up of Aphelios and Caitlyn, which is somewhat of a reactive pick in hopes of thinning out the AD carry pool. This leads out well into the B1 pick in which IMT open up with the Jinx. This is the last remaining AD carry in the upper echelon of picks, with other alternatives dropping down to the second tier of picks like Jhin and Ezreal. Jinx has just been a staple in almost every comp as well, thanks to the prominence of front-to-back comps in today's metagame. C9 responded with a strong R1, R2 in the Karma, Xin Zhao picks, picking arguably best in slot champions for two roles in the game right now. Karma has proven to have been the most dominant support in pro play at the moment thanks to favorable matchups into almost every engaged champion and many enchanters, as well as her ability to generate prio in every bot lane matchup. Then Zhao has shown to basically stat check every jungler in pro play right now, and obviously having that winning matchup is going to be a great asset when it comes to hiding your cards in draft. In B2B3, IMT take whatever strong picks they can still get in order to stabilize their draft and counter whatever they can. In this case, they opt for the support and jungle picks in the Leona and the Viego. Not much to comment here really. The Leona is a bog standard pick to take as well, since it offers so much as a go button and is just excellent frontline overall. The Viego pick here, although spicier, is one of the best matchups possible into the Xin Zhao and provides great parry potential for teams that need it. To round out the first stage of the draft, C9 round out their bot lane with an Ezreal pick, which provides a stable matchup that outranges the Jinx and also pairs really well with the Karma pick to provide a really strong lane on bot side. This leaves the mid-top sides for both teams relatively open actually. Establishing what we know so far about the draft, IMT has an excellent front-to-back comp, while C9 makes up for their slightly weaker frontline formation with longer range and poke instead. Since backline dive isn't as strong within the current meta, the best way to answer this comp from C9 is to instead match that sort of range if possible. C9 understands this and attempts to ban as much of the mid lane pool as possible that can do this in Corki and Syndra. This also hints that C9 will likely be picking their mid here in the R4 slot. IMT on the other hand are already at an advantage in teamfights if they can get them started, and decided to ban out the most annoying blind champions possible that C9 can opt for in the LeBlanc and Tryndamere. These are two champs that are notorious for being able to break the rules with their matchups and generate leads where other champions should not be allowed to do so. Both of these champs are also excellent strong side laners as well. Moving to R4, Zilean gets blinded by C9, possibly in anticipation of the Victor counter that comes up in the B4, B5 as well. With not many tools left though, IMT go for the Jace pick on top side to route with the Victor, which helps IMT get some poke and siege to answer C9 like I mentioned before. C9 actually kind of read this and round their comp out with Malphite in this case, which is an awesome pick here because it not only neutralizes the top side of the Jace, but prevents IMT being able to punish the excellent counter engage available from C9. Overall, IMT has managed to gather some really decent power picks here, but this draft is favored for C9 thanks to their ability to play outside of the effective range of the Jinx and prevent really from any bad engages from breaking their formation. This is one of the more standard comps that C9 has opted for here, but this still is an excellent example of how they always think objectively with their drafts and are not afraid to use whatever tools they think are good in order to satisfy the needs of the comp. This is the true way to draft in League of Legends, and hopefully this serves as a great example that this mindset should be spread across professional drafting in general. Hopefully I was able to provide some context to the draft here, the process behind how these teams do it, and how you can use this sort of mindset to extend it to your own games. That's it from me though, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay fresh.